What up, my devil? Sensei-tutum here with a crypto market update for you. Gonna keep it quick today. Just give you a nice brief update of everything. Had done a follower goal to go ahead and post one of these videos, and in retrospect, probably a bad strategy. Making a post that's not showing anything to your audience that is already subscribed to you and then saying, hey, follow me more. So that's my bad, guys. And I got a lot of likes and retweets from you guys just on a text post, which is great. And, I do appreciate you guys for being a part of this channel. If you're looking on the YouTube and being a part of the Twitter, I'm not as active as I'd like to be sometimes just because, I've got other engagements that take up the priorities, like members, for instance, and life, and et cetera, et cetera. So I really do appreciate you guys, just so you know that. And I just want to go ahead and make this video for you. So real quick, just looking through these charts, you're going to see a lot of, incomplete stuff. You don't see anything in this labeled, this is labeled, isn't labeled. A lot of these charts, they're not like, prepared for sharing. When you prepare to share a chart with everybody, post it on Twitter, you make it look nice. You put labels and pitchforks and channels and things like that you don't necessarily need to know. You don't need that on there for your analysis because you basically can see it in your head, right? And sometimes it's nice to have a clear chart, clear head. Helps me think. So you guys are more looking at charts. For me, I went through and added a couple labels on some of them, like these, for you guys, just so I can give you my idea. But listen to the words more than necessarily look at the chart, though. You should see everything I say will be on here, just not everything I say will be on here. Does that make sense? I won't say anything. The chart will not contradict my words, but I will talk about more than is on the charts. All right, so enough rambling. So obviously starting with Big Daddy Bitcoin. And we knew coming into this that this was a potential 3 here, and we were looking for a 4. We got kind of big. But it could be 4 in here. Although, we did get this clean 5. And I alerted members. I did a quick video last week for the members only. And what I told them then was basically, at the time, I think it was right after this drop, that there was a great trade opportunity coming up. And that's the thing about Elliott, is it doesn't always have to, you don't need a 1 second count on the price history of a chart to be able to have great trading opportunities. And I alerted them to this trade, that this would be an A or 1, B or 2, and then trade for the C or the 3. That is the trade that you make money on in Elliott. If you only traded 3s and C's, you would make a lot of money. I know a lot of you guys want to trade every single pivot. Bad decision. Come to Trade Devils. We'll talk about it. All right. So what have we gotten since then? And I just want to talk about that a little bit for the members so that they can know what to do with their trade. Well, we've gotten a 5-wave move off of it, right? So if you're still in this short, you could potentially want to possibly get out of it. Not saying it's over, but we have what could be a very, good-looking ABC, potentially. It goes awful deep, but does not create a new low. And, this is crypto. That happens, right? My bias is still down, but we need to retrace anyway. So options here, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, just this dilly is a 5-wave. And or we could be doing a 1, 2, 1, 2, potentially. This is awful shallow, which you see, if this is an extended wave playing out, you often see shallow retracements without overlaps. No overlap here to this. And it could even be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It could be all kinds of different things, but because of the slope, because of the depth of this wave, you expect a shallow retracement in a B more than a 2, though, again, if extended wave is playing out, the traits of those. So it could go either way. It could get, it could be low in here, or it could go super deep. My bias is still potentially that it's going to go down more. We have this clean, flat count, flat, zigzag impulse, right? It did get a little big. So, the concern for that is, for making the case of this as being the end here, would be that this is This is your 4. You can eke a motive wave out of this somehow, which I don't see, honestly, any way to do that, although I haven't spent a whole lot of time because a lot of time it's wasted effort. It does truncate. You get strong, swift move out of that. And of course, we have not gone external to this move yet. Once that happens, should it happen, that alleviates that concern. But until that happens, we could potentially have gotten a truncated 5th here. 1, deep 2, and then, you know, big 3 coming up. So I would say right now, if you were in on this trade, I'd be chilling. I'd be waiting to see a retest of the Vegas waves on the 1 hour, you know, 4 of 1 lesser degree, this 4 wave back down to here. Just see what it does. If you had members talking to you now, if you took my advice and took this, then I would say you might want to be out of it and just in a wait and see approach. Now, again, my bias is that we still go down from here. How far, I haven't decided. Like I've told you guys, I believe it was a crypto market update. Maybe it was a Bitcoin video. I'm looking for signs of bottoms. And I'm just not seeing them yet. We got a very tiny bit of hidden bullish divergence on the daily chart here. Tiny bit. And then we went up from there, but, you know, nothing within here is showing me a bottoming sign. If anything, it's just all looking corrective, right? All this is looking corrective. And what happens after correction? It continues the trend at 1 larger degree, right? So all looks corrective to me. I see people making the comparison to this. I mean, guys, it's not even close. Expansion, contraction. It's, you know, sure, it got deep, but it contracted the whole time down, expanded hard up. I mean, none of this looks like that to me. Just my 2 cents. All right, so let's jump into some of the big alts. So Ethereum. So here Ethereum's, you know, all these things are getting a little bit funky because we had what looks like a clear 5 wave down, right? Clear impulse played out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 4 ends of the 4 of 1 lesser degree. You know, this looks like a nice, perfect, clear impulse, right? So what would we be doing off of that? We'd be doing some sort of 3 wave up. And to be honest, this does not seem adequate to correct all of this, right? So you would think you would want to get more up out of here. Let's just say that was A, B, C. Maybe you're putting an X and then A, B, C, something like that. I don't know. Awful shallow. Could go deeper. Could go deeper. Of course, you could make the case that you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. You could make that case, absolutely, and that this was a B, and you wouldn't think this would be a C, right? You would think this would be a 1 of a C, right? And it's awful steep for a 1, but could be. So there's a bit of uncertainty. I could tell you on the lower degree, nothing looks super bullish in here. Trade ideas for the members I gave you guys. I told you guys if we dropped out of, what was it? Oh yeah, if we dropped out of this channel, there was a great short opportunity as we were along this channel line because you just, you know, set a tight stop that, you know, break this channel, we should fall quickly to this parallel. We've done that, guys. So if you were in that trade, go ahead, dump out and reassess. Now, what we need to notice here is that we had a double median miss, and we have an 80% chance of making this median and this median. But if you don't make it, price should retrace to at least the level that it started the effort towards the median. So for this smaller fork here, we have met that retracement. I was happy. I felt satisfied with that retracement here. Hit this 786 parallel. I believe that's 786. 887 parallel. Excuse me. However, I still felt we'd get here, and we did. You know, still in a quick fashion. But we have not yet retraced enough to satisfy this larger median miss. Of course, we could still come back and make it. But as of right now, I would say it does not feel bullish at all. Though, again, you know, you have what appears to be a potential, you know, 3 wave, although this does not look like a 5, an impulse here. That looks more like impulse. Uh-oh. Sorry, team. I never mute my phone. looks more likely to be, again, the steepness of this move feels very A wave-ish, but, and then of course this is very shallow, feels B wave-ish. But then you have 5 out of it, and then we've gone up and continued down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for an extended. Either way, I feel more down, and definitely at least to here. So let's see what happens. But with these impulses, or I'm sorry, with these lower degree targets, they kind of have been met, just like in Bitcoin. So I think we're in a wait and see approach. Personally, unless you're a longer eye and you're looking at the more bearish, larger degree signals. I don't think a lot of you guys trade that way though, so that's why I'm not talking about it. Now let's jump over to some of the bigger alts. Okay, so as you guys have seen on the Twitter feed, we've got 2 potential counts, a 3-wave and a 5-wave up here. Nothing special. Now, we also actually have a potential for a 3-wave or a 5-wave in here. So really neither of these counts can be ruled out yet. It was looking like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because, if you check this, it sort of channels and measures really good for a 1, 2, 3. Right? Just like that. So this really does channel and measure very well for a 1, 2, 3. However, once we hit this 5, we get this shallow retrace across everything is really kind of been weird, right? What's going on here? So one thing that could potentially make sense, especially on this chart, is that you actually had a 1, 2, 3 W, X, and you're putting in Y. Would it be done? I'd say impulse. No, it doesn't feel complete. Could be, but it just doesn't yet. Right, on any of these charts. It just doesn't feel complete. It could be. Again, I think we're in a wait and see spot right here. But the whole market, or at least these big boys, do not feel complete to me. EOS, same. Then you get this shallow move here. So we might have a completed 5-wave here, or did 5 complete here, just like ETH. And then, what's going on here. So I still think we are in a wait and see with that as well. Let's just see what kind of retracement we've put in so far. And up to note, the EOS got rejected at the 4-hour daily Vegas, or the 4-hour Vegas. Litecoin is rejected at the 4-hour Vegas. And XRP is rejecting at the daily Vegas. Now, XRP this thing's always hard to count. So one potential, I would say that the only question on this chart is does X end here or does X end here? If X ends here, we got 5. We need to go up in 3, down in 5. If X ends here, you got a potential bottom end. And that is a potential. We came down, touched this high level of support, this 24 cents. I don't know if anybody remembers 24 cents back here before the moon. 24 cents was a big level, right? Actually 21 cents we hit, but got down to that 24 and beat it, and then rejected stiffly out of it. This is a huge level of support. So, this X here, I'll let you guys do the work on this and determine if you're happy with this type of truncation or whatever you want to say. But I think that one thing is pretty clear is that this is a 5-wave down right here, right? So are we going to have a new impulse out of it, or are we going to 3-wave? That's what you guys got to keep an eye on. We haven't had any, golden crosses or anything like that, though we are ticking up on this simple moving average here. But again, rejected at the daily Vegas. Rejected so far. See what happens. Again, wait and see mode. We get above these daily Vegas, these 4-hour Vegas, things like that. Then you start flipping your bias to more bullish. And we have counts to support both. We've had great trades this week. At least members did. If you looked at any of my stuff, you guys could have potentially had multiple good trades. So yeah. Let's see. We already talked about this. All right. I think it would be asinine not to look at Link. I'd say that is one of the main players right now. You guys saw this on Twitter. So not just members got that we had a potential case for 4 of this degree low in, right? And then we were moving off of it. What do we have since? This is that move off of that low. It looks like a very, again, this is, like I told you guys, charts that don't have labels on them and things like that. Impulse. And then we have one chart, I believe, Binance makes a new low in here. But they are different. Those charts are different. And, you know, I'm a proponent, especially in crypto, of trading your chart that you trade. You know, if I trade on Coinbase, keep my count on Coinbase. I do not care about other charts. That's just my personal, everything I do is I try to keep things simple. So I know a lot of you guys try to complicate at every, add complexity, quote unquote, at every possible turn. I think that's a mistake. That's not how you make money in trading, in my opinion. But that, you know, maybe you guys are smart. I'm stupid. So that's me. I keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 down. Again, new low on Binance, but let's just work on our chart that we're looking at. We put the base trend channel, break out hard in the 3 where you expect it. Come down, find support at these Vegas waves for the 4 hour and that base trend. This all could potentially be 4-wave in here. However, this is a sharp 2, right? Whether it's here, whatever it is, this is a sharp 2. So you would expect a flat 4. So instead of being a 4, my honest idea is that if, you know, full-on bull seems most likely as far as the count is concerned, the rest of the market, maybe potentially not, although it's in flux, we could be 1, 2, 1, 2. If that's the case, we could easily come down to this level and still feel bullish. So even this median, depending on how sideways it gets, or, you know, how long the slope gets. Yeah, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. It doesn't have to be a 4. In fact, the way it's played out so far, I don't know that, you know, 4 is even the most likely, but feels bullish. You know, nothing about this feels bearish. So Link still feels bullish, though in the midterm, intermediate term, or near term, it could potentially go down more. So keep that in mind. Don't know that this is an impulse. Could be, but you know, to me, 1, 2, 1, 2 almost seems more likely. And even if it goes up from here, doesn't mean this isn't a 2. So feels damn bullish. All right, guys, that's all the charts I wanted to talk about today. Again, I really appreciate your subscriptions and your follows. And, you know, I'm just happy you guys are around. Toot out.